Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Sunday. Another week is over. Oh, it's the school holidays next week. That's always fun. Anyway, welcome on board our A32NX tonight, guys. We're in the Neo aircraft as the FlyByWire team have updated their flare law to bring it more in line with its real-world counterpart. What's different about it? To be honest, very little. We can perhaps discuss that in a bit more detail once we're airborne. But we're heading on a relatively short flight tonight. We're doing Newcastle to Bristol. Lots of ATC around in the UK today, so hopefully that'll be around when we're airborne and be quite nice and realistic. I chose Bristol because there's a little crosswind, nothing major, but there's a little bit of a crosswind. And Bristol is always a little bit interesting anyway, as it's quite high up. It's 600 feet above sea level, so you know, if it's going to pick up, it's going to be gusty anywhere, then you're going to usually feel it there, a bit like Leeds Bradford. So that's the reason for our flight today. Slow and chilled. But the really fun thing is the real world flight that we're doing tonight actually is scheduled to depart and push back in 15 minutes. We're probably going to be late, so we'll be behind that. But it'll be nice to do it alongside the real thing. So good evening, everyone. Massive shout out as always to our amazing channel members. Thank you for your ongoing support, guys. BM Lock, Daniel, DC, Jhar, Captain Shaquille. Good to see you, Captain. Hey, Max Wright, Tommy Bacchus, Organ Aviator in the house as well. Hey, Flyboy John, good to see you, and a big welcome to everybody else, as well as those of you watching over on Twitch as well this evening. Hey, Ducat Doctor over there, good to see you. Pack Andrew, your home airport, Newcastle. Yeah, I think I remember that from previous conversations with you, Andrew. Anthony says totally messes landing up earlier. Now he knows why. Well, Anthony, again, the strange thing is there is very little difference. There's a subtle difference, and the main thing is it's meant to prevent tail strikes, but we can chat about that a little bit later on. Right, operational flight plan is pinned into the chat, I think I've remembered to do that. And we need to get the operational flight plan up anyway on screen, so let me do that and see what's occurring this evening. So there it is. Yeah, so Neo aircraft, which seems a little bit overkill for this flight, to be honest, but never mind. 11.5 tons, massively underloaded. Takeoff weight 57, so 10 tons below our maximum landing weight. Nothing to worry about there. Trip time is about 52 minutes, costing excess 4 as per usual. Cruising 27,000 feet, not a high cruise, not a long flight. That would be why. Ben, the real life flight on this has not even landed yet on the Bristol to Newcastle. What? It's not even landed? It's not even in Bristol? Really? Well, in that case, we might. Not Bristol, sorry. It's meant to be in Newcastle. So if it's not landed in Newcastle yet, then that's well, we're going to beat it, then, aren't we? For those of you with a keen interest in aviation, particularly here in the UK, Manchester's a bit of a mess at the moment, isn't it? So it's a bit of a pain anyway, because taxiway Bravo is closed right at the end of runway. If you've just landed runway 23 right, you've then got to taxi near the end, turn around and backtrack all the way up. Coupled this morning with low visibility procedures, it was very foggy. So yeah, that's just not fun for anybody involved. I wonder if they're replicating that on VATSIM. That'd be quite cool if they are. That'd be amazing if they are, because that's going to take some serious ATC work. Anyway, back to our flight. We're overflying Manchester. Might have a look down and see what's happening. Alternate is Birmingham. runway 25 for departure, 27 for landing, 7 tons plug fuel, CNR for Birmingham 2.1, that's fine. Let's have a look. Don't need to look through all that. The grid moor is going to be fine. Weather's all Cat 1 everywhere we're going, so that's okay. That's pretty standard stuff. No times. Oh, let's just have a look at the forecast. So what's the date today? It's the 11th today, isn't it? So we're in 270 at 9. Yeah, actually it's mostly looks like the wind's going to spin around to more of a headwind, so we'll see what that's like when we get in there. And Birmingham's fine. Yeah, it's all good. But this time of year you just get a lot of early morning mist and fog, as I say Manchester did at this moment this morning. So Newcastle Golf is unserviceable. That's the exit sign. That doesn't matter, does it? Stands 1, 31 and 2 closed, aerodrome closed to non-traffic overnight. Yeah, that's fine. What's happening then in Bristol? Occasional overflights of jackdaws over the aerodrome runway 27 approach around dawn and dusk. Oh, those birds, they have no sense of danger, do they, when it comes to aircraft? That's Birmingham, not bothered about that. And that's our flight route then. No significant weather either. Right, so what are we going to take fuel wise? Probably very close to plug tonight. What's that, 4-1? Yeah, I reckon maybe just no, I reckon 4-2 should do us. Yeah, no need to take anything extra. Everything's looking fine. Weather's good all around, alternates and everywhere, so yeah, 4.2 tons of fuel. Let's look at our flight plan then. So there it is, and we are parked at stand 5, so I would imagine a taxi down Delta. There's only really one way to go, isn't there? Delta, there's an intersection at Charlie, could potentially take that, we'll see. And then the departure, the girly 3 X-ray departure is what we've got in. Straight out, speed constraint 180, and I think our initial climb is flight level 80, looking at that. MSA 34, transition altitude 6,000 feet. Nothing there with regards to automatic handoff, so if we've got ATC around, then we wait for tower to tell us when to move. Navade, Newcastle, VOR and NDB. Okay, so all straightforward stuff then, isn't it? Let's go find our aircraft then and check that out. Ben says Hotel Lima's not had a great day for being on time. That's the problem with it, isn't it? As soon as something goes wrong earlier on in the day, well then you are pretty much stuffed then. It's very, very difficult to catch up with what's going on for the rest of the day, but never mind. So let me where is our aircraft? I'll find it. There she is. Awesome. James says Bristol to Newcastle flight is now on finals. Think we can get out before the turnaround? Oh, definitely, James. I mean, turnaround minimum is well, I don't know. They try and do 30 minutes turnaround, these low-cost carriers. So we'll see if we can. We'll see if we can do it. Has there ever got issues with GSX when using the VFR A319? I'm not using the VFR A319, so not able to help you with that. Cy120, hi mate, good to see you as well. Great to have you on board live for us. Ducat Doctor, home airport is Bristol. Fantastic. Can't wait to get back next Sunday off to Iceland. Oh, very nice. Oh, very cold this time of year. Hey Carl, good to see you. Yes, so our beautiful aircraft, A320neo of course. Welcome to Newcastle. Newcastle scenery today provided by Orbex, of course. Right, let's jump on board and start setting stuff up. Have we got ATIS here? We do. Let me just grab that information and then we'll scribble it down, start setting everything up. 11838. Let's see what we've got.
First contact. This is Newcastle Airport Information Golf at time 1950 Zulu. Automatic. Runway 25 in use. Transition level. Flight level 80. Data link clearances are available. Departing aircraft make initial contact with Newcastle radar 124.380. Surface wind 270 degrees 10 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Clouds few at 1,300 feet. Clouds broken at 3,300 feet. Temperature 6. Dew point 5. QNH 990. Acknowledge receipt of information Golf and advise aircraft type on first contact.
Okay, got everything we need out of that. So let's just start refueling and get that process underway, shall we? So we want, what did I say we were taking? 4.2 tons. Yeah, bit of a plug fuel day, real time, and let's just get that started. And we're going to start loading the passengers as well. Just download all that information. GSX payload is enabled, so let's tell GSX that they can start boarding as well. Good, alright, let's crack on with the rest of the stuff then. Refueling page is open, and overhead is the last crew being kind and left everything how we expect it. Yeah, we're on external power, pumps are off, packs are off, nav lights are off, seatbelt signs are off, and god, that light's bright. Thrust spoilers, flaps, parking brake, that's all fine. Acupressure's in the green. QNH is 990, that's fine. Audio control panel, that's on Unicom. Monitoring the guard frequency, yep. Switching panel, thrust levers, mode master selections, they're all good. Up to here, constraints on 990, and that initial climb I think it's going to be flight level 80, so we'll just check, pop that on. Contact ATC to begin with in a moment. And then we'll start setting up the box. I forgot to set up my actual box for this, so I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with the mouse. That'll be interesting. So let's do a data request. Daniel, you're heading to Newcastle tomorrow. In about 40 minutes for flights and practice tomorrow. Probably get to the hotel about 10ish. So might see some KLMs and some Ryanairs, yeah. Right, 52 minutes is our flight time. IRS 3 nav greens. LEAP engines, AirX cycles still good for another 10 days. Alright, let's do any request then. So Danger Zone, how's the flight load changed from the previous iteration? It really hasn't done, or shouldn't have actually changed too much. There's just, I'm going to discuss it once we're in cruise. But really, it's to help prevent tail strikes. At least that's what it should do. Should you fly it any different to normal? No, it should be exactly the same. Okay, let me just grab the operational flight plan back up on screen, and then we can check all this is right, can't we? 59 Alpha X-ray, Birmingham 4270, temperature is 6, Tropo is 30826. Let's get that in. Grab the winds. Wilcom, we're going to do the return flight as well. Not tonight, mate. It's Sunday night. I need beer in bed. Aaron, when we're next doing a long haul, when time permits, Aaron. I love a good long haul. It will be when time permits, I'm afraid. Okay, so IRS, where are we? Stand 5, I said, didn't we? I've not actually checked this out. Where's my charts for that? There we go. Stand 5, so we should have 552226 there, and 1424. That's close enough for jazz, isn't it? I'll take that. Alright, flight plan Newcastle. I love this, the girly departure from the 25. What we're on, girly 3 X-ray, I think. Yeah. Insert that. And delete the discontinuity. And then Bristol arrival, ILS 27 on the Weave B, 1 Bravo. I don't think I've ever come in on that before. I'm going to put no veer in either, because we're probably not going to fly over the Bristol NDB, to be honest. Should get vectored in. So flight plan's got 251 miles. I've got 249. That looks okay to me. Gross error check there. Check it all looks good. Departure looks fine. Yep. Yep. Yeah, there we go. I mean, actually, I probably should put the racetrack pattern in, shouldn't I? Hang on a second then. Let me just amend that arrival, just in case we have to. So, approach veer. Is it Bristol 1? Bristol 2. Bristol 1. Insert. There we go, that should be fine. Okay, pop that back onto Arc and 20 for wind shear warnings. Not that I think they work in the sim, sadly. Hey Mads, good to see you. Right, so radar page, what have we got here? SAB, where the hell's that? I don't know where that is. We've got a Newcastle VOR. And we've got the November Tango NDB. Should never need these, but they're there just in case. And the init B page. Alright, so over here are oh, hello passengers. Oh, I love a good Orbex profile that makes things all realistic. How good does that look? Not Orbex, sorry, GSX. See, when GSX works, it's fantastic. Apart from people walking through each other. I mean, that's just very rude, isn't it? Come on, you're from the UK. We British, we know how to queue. So I thought. Anyway, let's crack on. What are we doing? Zero fuel weight is 54.1. Planned CFG is 32.4. Headwind of 21. Normally I put the alternate in, but this box needs me to do fuel planning prior to that. It says 3.7, we're going with 4.2. Mind you, it's not got any alternate figures in, has it? Fuel for the alternate, if we need to get up to Birmingham, is 1.2 tons. Okay, that's fine. Extra minus 0.1. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. Takeoff weight is 58.1. And our CFG for departure is planned to be 33.
Hello, sir.
Awesome. Okay, let's do our takeoff performance calculations. Get you SimSmart in its entirety now. Where are we? AGNT. There's a link to SimSmart in the video description as well if you want to check that out. Right, our latest METAR runway condition, it is dry, anti-ice will be on because it's only 6 degrees, and what were the clouds? 1,300. Takeoff weight is 58.1, very light today. Takeoff CFG is 33, so that's standard. Takeoff thrust, flex, and config 1 packs off as well. Okie dokie, so 125, 125, 130, flex 67. We're not limited with that takeoff weight, of course we're not. And departure is non-standard, 11 miles from Newcastle, right turn to Newcastle NDB. Okay, let's throw all that in. V1, 125, VR, 125 and 130. Transition altitude, yeah, 6,000 feet. Flaps 1 for our departure. Flex is 67. Thrust reduction acceleration is 1240. Now, if we're going to update that to the usual orange airline ops, that's going to be 1040. As we're now using 800 feet above aerodrome level. There we go. Second flight plan not active, of course. So the engine out procedure, I can't put out. Can't put the EOUT SID in the secondary flight plan. But just check. I've got Newcastle in there, and just for our own sort of reference on the fixes page, let's just pop in the Newcastle NDB on there. So we've got a visual cue of that. There it is. Look. Is that the NDB? That looks more like a. Looks more like a waypoint to me. That's interesting. Oh well. I think that's right. The NDB is on the ILS. On the centre line, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, well that's all done. Let's contact ATC, see if they're happy for us to depart. 12438. Newcastle approach. Good evening, Easy59 Alpha X-ray stand 5 type A320 Neo requesting IFR clearances filed to Newcastle, correction to Bristol, and we have information Golf.
Newcastle traffic, this is Golf Juliet Oscar Sierra Sierra. Local aircraft, be aware Newcastle Tower has not been responsive for the past hour.
I will roger that. Easy 5.5 X-ray. Thank you. We shall remain on tower then, and also make Unicon calls. Ah, right. Okay, that's interesting. What happens if a controller falls asleep? So Danger Zone, any tips for flaring in the field? Right, I tell you, the best thing I can suggest, Danger, is because every landing is different, go, if you can, after this stream of course, to my YouTube channel, and I've got quite an in-depth video in flaring and how different conditions affect how you flare, and also how flaring when you're playing the flight simulator on a 2D screen is quite you're getting a very false perspective of the angle that your aircraft is actually at. So yeah, do check that out. I think you'll probably find that quite useful. Right, well, I'm just going to assume that we're going to be cleared to go because, well, ATC is not around to tell us otherwise. All right, let's do our departure brief then. So any sort of threats or errors that might pop up, anything we can think about, and of course anything you guys can think about as well. I think this is always a great time in the chat for you to state anything you might be concerned with. Biggest thing, threats sort of thing for me is I'm unfamiliar with this. I suppose the lack of ATC is a bit of a threat now. So yeah, I'm unfamiliar with Newcastle. Don't usually do Newcastle too often. So we're going to push back, we'll face east, then look to taxi on, I think it's, yeah, it's taxiway Alpha, isn't it? Look to taxi via Alpha 4, then on to Delta, and then that's just a straightforward taxi all the way out. We'll go for our full length departure today, and we'll hold then at Delta 1 for 25. We'll do we'll do a dual engine taxi. We'll not bother with a single engine taxi today. It's not that long a wait, and there's not like there's loads of traffic around, anything like that. Departure, there is a speed constraint then of 180, which if we just have a look at the characteristic speeds, so we'll just hold flaps 1 then, basically we'll hold S speed until we've passed that. It's 1.5 miles away, isn't it? So I think I actually don't think that's going to be a problem at all. NTW02, is that in there? It is, and it's also programming, so yeah, it's just, I think flaps 1 during that departure, so we don't need to pre-select any speeds or anything like that. That's fine. Initial climb then is going to be flight level 80. Little threat there, of course. Our initial climb is a flight level, so we need to pull standard pressure as we're in the climb. Don't forget to do that. MSA 3,400 feet. There's no terrain around us, so that's pretty straightforward as well. So the taxi and the departure are all straightforward. Only things to think about are, of course, we'll read through the NOTAMs. We've done that. There's nothing here. Threats to be aware of. We've talked. There's very little concerning us here. No turns below 1,100 feet. We've just seen that as well on the chart. But again, that's not going to affect us as well. The only other little threat then, I suppose, is the aircraft. A couple of things not working. We've got no terrain radar, shouldn't affect us today. No weather radar, shouldn't affect us today. No secondary flight plan, so if we lost an engine, had to do anything with regards to that, we have to manually fly that engine out procedure. Let's just re-familiarise ourselves with that. So it is so the emergency brief, it's a non-standard engine out procedure. 11 miles from Newcastle, we're going to make a left turn, and that's back to the Newcastle NDB, where we'll take up the hold. So yeah, we just have to do that manually. Couldn't let the autopilot sort that out because secondary flight plan's not available. Anyway, I think we are pretty much then good to go. Let me see if everyone's on board. It looks like that is indeed the case, so we can get the doors closed and things. Camera doors open. So let's get that APU started up. The main thing as well is I've got a cup of tea sat next to me, which is always an essential. Hello.
Hi, Captain. All passengers are now on board.
Lovely. Let's get the doors closed and we'll get going.
Okay, I'll let the crew know and we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
Hey, Beluga, Jamie. Hello from a very warm Tenerife. Awesome. Organ, do I still use the physical... I do. I forgot to set it up today, Organ. I was in a rush to get going, and so that's why I'm tapping away on the screen. At least you get to see what I'm doing. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and the total number of souls, not including yourselves, here.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so C of G is correct. Passengers are on board. All is fine and dandy. AP is up and running. Let's get that off. External power, that can come off. Seatbelt signs on. Time for a quick PA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet flight today from Newcastle down to Bristol. We are running a few minutes behind, so my apologies for that. We'll do our best once we're in there to try and ensure that delay doesn't become any greater. The weather for our flight today is pretty standard. We'll be cruising at 27,000 feet, and the weather down in Bristol is looking fine as well. So if you can now give your cabin crew their full attention as they start to prepare the aircraft for the arrival, and shortly they'll be giving their emergency briefing, and we're going to look to push back as soon as possible. Thank you, and we'll speak to you again soon. Right, that's them happy. Give that another few seconds, we'll get the pack on as well, so they don't overheat. Alright, cockpit preparation checklist. Let's get GSX into position. Alright, so cockpit prep checklist, aircraft acceptance, that's all been done and accepted. Fuel quantity is 4,200 and balanced. Seatbelt signs are on, it is, got 3 now green and power Fs. QNH is 990,280 feet. Need to get that door closed, guys. Who's going to close that door for us? Right, a GSX coming into position. Fuel truck is in position. I don't want the fuel truck. Oh, I'll tell you what. Hang on. Just restart it, and it'll be fine. Okay, one final check then, whilst that's just restarting, so you guys can see flight plan is all in Newcastle 5. Girly departure is in there. Radnav's tuned to Newcastle and Newcastle NDB. 270 is planned, that's going to be fine for us. V speeds 125, 125, 130, flaps 1, flex 67, thrust reduction acceleration is about 1,000 feet, of course. Takeoff weight 58.1, and we've got 4.2 tons of fuel on board. Secondary flight plan is in op. So I think, do we stay on, do we move up to Unicom or do we stay on Newcastle approach? I'll stay on Newcastle approach because I think that's where
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
He doesn't sound like a Geordie. And Newcastle traffic easy. 59 Alpha X-ray stand 5 is pushing back facing east. We'll also make the call on Unicom. Newcastle traffic easy. 59 Alpha X-ray is pushing back facing east.
Departure
From
checks
stand
completed.
5.
Bypass pin inserted.
Might actually be worth, you know, VHF 2 monitoring both channels. So at least we can hear if anything's happening on
Locking
Unicom.
gear.
Beacon light. Should be squawking 2,000 as well, not 7,000. Acupressure's good. Alright. Before start checklist then, parking brake is on, takeoff data has been confirmed, windows are closed, EFB is on flight mode, doors are closed and armed, and the beacon light is on.
Release parking brakes, please.
Okay, all clear and parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Nose wheel steering disconnected, start the timer, and engine mode selected to ignition, and we're starting engine 1. Andy, has the update already been pushed out? Yes, it's part of the development version. Yes. Hey DMA, I've never used PackX, so I'm afraid I'm unable to help you with that.
Newcastle radar, East Flight 342, requesting IFR clearance to Bristol.
And East Flight, this is Easy 59 Alpha X-ray, be advised Newcastle approach has been silent for about an hour apparently.
Thank you for that.
Hey Tony, good to see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes,
And starting engine
masks,
2.
life jackets and brace position that you
Parking
must
brakes
adopt
set.
if you hear brace,
Unlocking
brace.
gear.
There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened,
Hey Mona,
adjusted,
good to see you.
and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap Pull on each side to
Tow truck
adjust.
disconnected. Bypass
Put on
pin
your own
removed.
mask before helping others. If
Left
you land
is
on
clear,
water,
right
take
is
the
clear.
life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray
Okay.
table must now be stowed,
Engine 2
armrest down,
is
window blinds
stable.
open, and seatbelt fastened.
So
We wish you a
the
pleasant flight with Easyjet.
after start flow then. Engine mode selectors back to normal. APU bleed can come off. Anti-ice on. APU can come off. And
Newcastle traffic, Easyjet 743,
Yes,
after
rudder.
the traffic behind us, pushing back
Flaps one.
for Newcastle traffic.
set the trim. And our after start checklist. So anti-ice is on, engines, ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim is 33 and the rudder is neutral. Newcastle traffic, easy 59 Alpha X-ray is taxiing now via Alpha Delta to hold at Delta 1 runway 25. So given that we're not very heavy today, we'll probably start rolling automatically. Yeah, let's just do a quick flight control check then. So full left, full right. Why are you turning? You shouldn't be turning. Full right, neutral. Let's just stop that check and get back on that centre line. Now full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone's seated and secured for takeoff.
Okay, we'll call when ready.
No problem.
Alright, so we've got no LMCs or changes to our takeoff plans and performance. Engine out procedures, non-standard, 11 miles is the left turn back to the Newcastle NDB, where we will hold 4,000 above MSA. Departure is straight out. I'll have that in managed mode, so flaps 1 till that first speed constraint is past about 1.5 miles out. First turn to the left and our initial climb flight level 80. One of the best things about having rudder pedals with foot brakes is it's actually easy to control the speed of the taxi in the Neo aircraft, because obviously it taxis quite quickly under idle thrust, particularly when you're light like this. Not heavy at all today. And we'll fly the 777 when it comes out. If I do, I won't fly it well. That's for sure. Hasso, I haven't got a Latin VFR A319. I'm afraid I can't help you. I've not got it. Right, this cabin's looking rather bright for nighttime flights, isn't it? So let's just try and amend that. That's better. Alright, the taxi checklist. So flight controls have been checked. Flap setting is config 1. FMA climb number 1FT2
And Newcastle
8000.
traffic,
Blue. Radar predict winches on.
taxiing
Ecam memo, take off blue if be
via
stored.
Alpha Delta to 185.
Newcastle traffic, east flight 242.
Camera crew seats for takeoff. So make sure you stick with us for our flight today, guys. It's only about 45 minutes in total.
Ladies and gentlemen, because this is a nighttime flight, for safety purposes, I have dimmed the cabin lights for takeoff. This is a completely normal procedure, and they will be turned back on once we've completed our departure. Thank you.
Just keep an eye on that speed. 30 knots is maximum in a straight line. If you're enjoying the stream so far, guys, please do hit that like button for me. It does make a difference.
Newcastle Radar, good evening, Golf Mike,
Easy
Oscar
way to
Foxtrot,
support us.
on an Easyjet open, Cessna 172, with information at altitude 990 hectopascals, processing radio check, fleet engine start, and departure instructions via VATSIM.
And Cessna readability 5x5.
Newcastle Radar, Golf Mike, Oscar Foxtrot.
And Golf Mike Oscar, just be aware Newcastle radar has actually been offline for about an hour.
Right here, thanks for that.
Okay, approach path looks clear. And Newcastle traffic easy, 59 Alpha X-ray, lining up runway 25 via Delta 1 for the Gurley 3 X-ray departure. Okay, line-up checklist. Cabin is secured. Takeoff runway full length. Runway 25 is confirmed. TCAS TARA packs 1 and 2 are off. Final check that there's nothing coming in. Very important when ATC is sleeping. Okay, all looks good. So, take off. Start chrono. 50% set. Stable. Set takeoff thrust. And flex. SRS runway. Auto thrust blue. Takeoff thrust set. Rotate. I don't think you should have shown runway track on the FMA just then. Positive brake, gear up. So we're in SRS mode at the moment. There we go, it's climb mode. Thrust climb. Climb, auto thrust.
And Newcastle traffic, Easyjet 2743, landing up runway 25.
And we're going to pass that constraint just as planned, more or less as we get
East traffic.
right on the 180 speed mark, so that's fine by me. We'll let autopilot take over while we clean the aircraft up. So autopilot 1 is engaged, past the SV, so flap 0, the spoilers disarmed. Full standard pressure and 80 blue. Give it 10 seconds between those two for passenger comfort. And spoilers, flaps, gear. Lights off. Cabin crews released.
Traffic, Alpine 273, take north on 85.
Okay, we're going to move on to Unicom now, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at
First
each
climb,
end
on climb,
of the cabin.
and 270 blue
Remember
set.
that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today.
Anti-ice
All
not
details
required
can be
now.
found in your
Get rid of
in-flight
that.
brochure. You can
Thank
also
you.
purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be
So
of
past
any
10,000
further
feet, get
assistance,
airports on
then
the
just ask us.
EFIS.
We join you in
Things
the
seem
cabin
nice,
shortly.
so I think seatbelt signs can come off.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Cost index
the captain has now turned
0.
off the seatbelt sign
Radnav
and you are
page
now
can
free
be
to
cleared
walk
out.
around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep
Secondary
the
flight plan, don't
seatbelt
need to clear that
on
out
at all
because
times in case
we
of
don't have one.
unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
And that's it, on our way to Bristol. Yeah, indeed, when light, as Ben says, the A320neo is just a rocket. We're climbing at about 3,800 feet FPM at the minute. Ali, the packs are the pressurization and air conditioning system. So they need to be working if you want to fly above 10,000 feet. And they definitely need to be working to keep the cabin cool. So just keep an eye on what's happening in Bristol as well.
Newcastle Traffic Golf Mike Oscar Fox Oscar via Fox right through back track with 29.
But yeah, we're going to be at cruising altitude relatively quickly, which is great because it's a short flight. Once we're at cruising altitude, then we'll start setting up for the approach. Hey, Rail Cowgirl, how are you doing? Did you manage to get your mini FCU shipping issue sorted? And remember guys, if you want in the market for one of the mini FCUs, which I'm using to fly with today, then make sure at checkout to use the discount code Easyjet SimPilot and get yourself 10% off. Oh, Railcal, you're getting yours early. Excellent.
Passing 3,000 feet, climbing via Gully 3X ready departure.
It makes such a difference. It really does. It's mega. Never having to touch this again with the mouse. So Cube, what is the difference in the Flalo? Okay, so all they have done, all Airbus have done, is they've changed the flare law, which the aircraft enters at about 30 feet. So it's literally just before you touch down, a couple of seconds before you touch down. And the new flare law means that it is to prevent you from over-rotating when near the ground. Now, it's activated by the spoilers coming up, and one of the reasons is to prevent tail strikes. Now, tail strikes on A320s, whilst they do happen, they're not as common as they are in the Airbus A321s. The A321, of course, has a much longer fuselage, so tail strikes are more of a threat there. But they've, the FlyByWire team have tweaked the flare law a little bit. Now, should you do anything different? No, you shouldn't. However, I do remember reading on the forums that it was a little bit oversensitive, but I think they were trying to work that out. So the biggest thing we'll see tonight when I try and land it for the first time, we'll see how that behaves when we come to touchdown. But what I'm expecting tonight, and I think we've got mostly a headwind, have we? Yeah, mostly headwind, is that I really probably shouldn't need to do very much at all in terms of pulling back on the side stick. So that's what I'm expecting when we get to Bristol in, well, not very long at all. Hey Lemon Wolf, good to see you. 320, do I like Logan Air? I don't dislike them. I've got nothing against Logan Air. Hey LQ, why don't we enter the THS info in the takeoff performance page? Right, great question. So I can't bring this up now, can I? Because we've taken off. The THS page, the trimmable horizontal stabilizer, you will probably know that you can put in a setting, say 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, right, you know, all the way up to sort of 2.1, and it's up or down, and that's what you pop in the box. That's what you set your trim value to, using the values here, up and down. The problem was, it was very, very easy to put in the box down to 2.1 and actually end up setting up 2.1 by mistake. So a lot of airlines now don't bother using that, because instead they use the centre of gravity given to them on their load sheet, which in the FlyByWire aircraft is there. So our gross weight centre of gravity when we took off was actually about 3.3. It's dropping now because we're burning fuel, but it was 3.3. So that is what you then set the trim wheel to. Now you cannot possibly get that wrong. So you set it, look there, you can see you've got CFG 20, 25, 30, 35, so we set the arrows up with 33, which is about there. You just have to eyeball it, and you can't get that wrong. It's not 2.0 up or 2.0 down, it's just an ascending scale, and a lot of airlines now do that to mitigate the fact that an error can be caused. There was an error a few years ago. Wizz Air had a very unexpected takeoff at, I want to say London Stansted, but I'm not sure, because they set up instead of down, or vice versa. And that's why you don't need to enter it now into the takeoff performance page. You just don't need it, and it doesn't matter if you leave it blank. Right, well, we're at alt cruise. That didn't take very long, did it? So we'll set our TCAS to below. We'll quickly zip through the pages, make sure nothing's flashing at us. God, that's bright.
Ladies and gentlemen,
fuel used.
We are about to start one of our
in-flight
movies. If you'd like to watch, please plug in your headphones and select channel 18
I'm not
on your armrest
really
remote.
certain that in-flight movies are featured in the real Easyjet. Self-loading cargo not being realistic there. Yeah, everything's fine. All systems are normal, and there's nothing on the overhead. Lovely. TJ is 4,300 feet per minute realistic for climbing in the air. Yeah, it is, particularly when we're this light. So yeah, that's that is indeed realistic. Wally, that would be eyesight. When locked, does the FlyByWire simulate the lowering of the pitch down in flare law? Yes, that is part of the flare law, yes. Hey pilot, good to see you. Pilot Nerd, you always set the centre of gravity on the trim wheel, but wanted to look into the up-down option. It's save time now, yeah, don't use it. A lot of airlines still do, but a lot of airlines don't. Because it's, I mean, technically it's safer not to. Right, well, Manchester is down there somewhere. That's sort of we'll quickly just get some en route weathers. Hey, Warwick Learning, good to see you. We don't need Newcastle's weather. AGCC. Just print those off. When that comes, where's flight control? Get rid of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know we will be starting our in-flight drink service in a few moments. If you could please clear all aisles and ensure that any bags are placed in the overhead lockers, it would be most appreciated.
Hey bus driver, it's livery we're flying in, available to download. It is for our channel members over on YouTube, but there's lots of Easyjet liveries available on sites like FlightSim.to. And MCO, does the FlyByWire have RNAV? Yes, it does. But you can't shoot an RNAV approach in final approach mode. You have to use nav FPA or track FPA mode. Again, there's a video about that on my channel if you want to look into that a little bit more. Right, received messages. What we got? Print that off. Manchester's wide open. Bristol is looking good as well. QNH 997. Birmingham's fine. So just cracking on now with prepping for arrival stuff because, well, it's a short flight. Right, can't read that. I need some light. Okay, so our flight plan is all set up and I'm happy with the speeds there. RadNav page, we're now going to put in BRINDB. There it is. Progress page, Echo Golf Golf Delta runway 27. I'll also put in Echo Golf Golf Delta runway 27 in here and pop a 9-mile radius ring around that. Cross that at 3,000 feet and that'll be perfect on the glide slope. Cost index back to 4. Now we're at cruise and we'll also pop in the approach information. So what is it? QNH is 997 hectopascals. Temperature is +5. Wind 250 at, oh no, correction. Yeah, 250 at 8. Transition altitude, according to the charts, is 6,000 feet. And can we do a flaps 3 or flaps 4 landing? There's not very long runway at Bristol. Let's check it out, shall we? So, have a look at that landing performance calculator. Runway elevation is 601.
Ladies and gentlemen,
runway heading at Bristol. 267. So first of all we use runway condition code 2. Runway slope. Oh. What's the runway slope? Use SimSmart for this. Runway slope is plus 0.18, so 0.18. 0.18. Runway landing distance available. What's that? Runway 27 is 1882. Approach speed is going to be, well, if we did config 3, (135). And our landing weight should be 55.6. So let's be conservative, call it 56 tons. Config 3, overweight no, reverse thrust no, auto land no, and calculate. Okay, so config 3, that wouldn't allow us to get in. That also won't allow us to get in. Okay, so we're going to use maximum reverse thrusts, and now let's set it to the actual conditions. Calculate. That's fine. Medium. Is config 3 a no-no then? Calculate that. No, we can get in config 3 and medium. So, medium brake and config 3. Alright, so that's all done. Makes sense. 320, is it true that most of the time the cockpit door isn't locked? Oh, no, it's definitely not. That's definitely not true.
Traffic, Easyjet 776 to rolling 1, runway to the right, Golf.
Okay, so I've just done the landing performance calculation. The first one we did, where we set the runway condition code to 2, we know that's not the case in Bristol. It's obviously dry. But if you can't stop when you've got the runway condition code set to 2, then you can use the max reverse thrust rather than just idle reverse. If you can stop when runway condition code is 2, then just use idle reverse and you'll be fine. And then do the landing calculation for how you're actually going to land in the current weight. O'Dog, how do you stop the Phoenix aircraft overspeeding? That sounds very much like you're not moving your thrust levers back to the climb detent. Right, let's get some information then with regards to landing. So we've just seen the weather there is absolutely fine. Runway visual range, of course, as well, above 750 metres. Minimums are 801, which I now need to also continue to pop into the performance page. Barrow 801. It's done.
Manchester traffic, Easyjet 77, rolling short runway to the right, for the left.
So what is it? It's normal 3 degree. Glide slow, PAP is on the left. The arrival when we're at top of descent, we want to be flying 160 at Reefby. And then what we will do, if there's no ATC around, we will probably continue on the approach, but then we will break off just after Inga and then come round and vector ourselves in. We're not going to fly over the NDB. Vector ourselves in, pick up the ILS, and then just straight in on the approach. So that's all straightforward. After we've landed, we vacate at the end, golf, and then park somewhere. Usually, usually one of these 5, 6, 9, 8, 7, etc. So that's all straightforward stuff. Okay, let's run our arrival brief then. I just want to check where is our top of climb, because we should have a top of climb on our flight. There it is. Sorry, top of descent. That's at 21:32. So that's in about it's about 15 minutes or so. Okay then. So a little a brief into Bristol. It's pretty straightforward. We've got nice weather. It's mostly a headwind tonight. No clouds detected as well, so we should be VMC in all the way. The the approach, we've just briefed how we are going to fly it, where we're going to fly, why we're getting an ATC message. I'm not actually tuned into anything. I was getting hacked. Jesus personally knows the Airbus. And you, FlyByWire, you are a child of God. Well, I'm in no rush to visit him anytime soon, so hopefully the aircraft will behave. Yeah, let's continue with the brief. So, any sort of threats or errors that we can think about and mitigate against in our flight today. So, Bristol is sat on the top of a hill. I mentioned that a little bit earlier on, so could be interesting. You know, you sometimes get gusts that you might not be expecting, but we should be able to see that and feel that all the way down. It's a relatively short runway, hence why I'm using auto brake medium for landing. Flaps 3 is going to be fine. Because we're using flaps 3, we are going to be probably pitched nose up quite a bit when we're coming into land, which is absolutely fine. But it also means we probably won't have to use much flare at all. MSA around the airport is 3,000 feet, and yeah, normal 3-degree ILS. How wide is our runway? Can't recall. It's still 45 meters wide, isn't it, the runway? Yeah, so that's fine. We know where we're going once we've landed. Let's have a look at the missed approach there. Missed approach is straightforward as well. Straight ahead, 3,000 feet, and then it's directed. Transition altitude, 6,000 feet. Lovely. Now, I've just picked up on something. We've got WebB there and UpCam. Well, I'm just looking. There's WebV, and I've not got UpCam anywhere, which is rather interesting. So it looks like there's WebV, no UpCam. So it doesn't look like my coding is matching here, which is very strange. Very strange indeed. So let's just have a quick look at this arrival. I've got the wrong star in, that's why. That's better. And that's affected the top percent. Yeah, okay. That's why you always check the coding. Didn't mean to switch stars, but Chazos, I think that is exactly what happened. Should we get rid of the Jesus message? And we've got stand 23 provisionally assigned to us. That's fine. Should be able to close this message. There we go. Gone. Leon, if you don't like the message, we just turn the brightness down. That's one way to sort it out. A couple possibly be Birmingham over there, maybe? All bright lights in the big city. Right, top of descent is about there, so we're going to go flight level 160. I nearly used my mouse then. Don't need to do that. So, speed descent and 160. Funnily enough, there should be a constraint there, and it's not in, so I'll just add that in. There we go. Hazza, how do you get assigned a stand? That is something that you get all the time in the UK if you're flying on VATSIM, even if there isn't any VATSIM controls around, so it's really good. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just commenced our descent down towards Bristol. The weather there is looking nice. There's no clouds or anything, so we should be expecting a nice smooth landing into Bristol tonight, and we should have you on the ground in about 25 minutes time. If you can now make your way back to your seats if you're not already, the camera crew will start preparing the aircraft for our arrival, and the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you. Sonny, I could put airports on the app, but at this stage of the flight, it's the constraints that we want on. But, you know, from my limited geographical knowledge, pretty certain that's Birmingham. Hey, so FKNEs. New thing about the FlyByWire, just the way the aircraft handles when you flare. In theory, you shouldn't need to do anything different. It's hopefully stops people over flaring. Leon, can I make a little video of how to make the 9-mile DME arch circle around the runway? Leon, I promise you, I don't even need to do that because it's so easy. Okay, so go to your flight plan. Alright, and then once you're on the flight plan page, don't press anything else. Don't be moving up or down. You need to be on the home page of your flight plan. So press the flight plan page. Top left takes you to then this page, the lateral revision, and you want to go to your fix info page. Go to your fix info page. Type in your airport and your runway, so Bristol, runway 27, and then from there, you can put any point you want in here. Then from there, you can put a radial line in, you can put a radius line. In fact, that is a really good idea, because I can't extend the runway center line here in this aircraft. So, what we can do is if we just put in the reciprocal of our runway today, which is 087, and I pop that now in here. There you go. So now I've got a 9-mile radius around there, and I've got the runway center line as well. So the idea is to cross this at 3 miles established, and we'll be nicely on the ILS. All being well. Musical fantasy, is it expected if the stand assigned to you isn't realistic? For example, Easyjet wouldn't park at the terminal. When you've got a VATSIM air traffic controller there, then they will assign you realistic stands. How realistic it is when it's working sort of off its own back is, well, it's anybody's guess, really. Fix my graphics settings are available to download. Not download, sorry, they're available to see in a video that I did. So if you have a look on the channel, there is a video setting of my graphics settings that we'll go through in a bit of detail. Thrust idle, descent 150 blue. Hey, Da Vinci. Yeah, so Da Vinci, as he says, you get a stand in real life as you come off the runway. Of course, local knowledge is usually a key as well, so airlines will know roughly where they park. So they know, they have a pretty good idea. They have a pretty good idea where they're going to, what general direction they're going to be heading in when they're landed and vacating. Hello.
Sorry for the intrusion. I was just wondering if you'd like a drink.
No thanks.
No problem. Give me a call if you change your mind.
Right, that is 15,000 feet, nicely on our profile. Now inbound Imgur. So we're just going to continue our descent. Sound descent 80 blue. So yeah, at the moment, because there's no ATC around, we'll vector ourselves in. Just double check there's no ATC. No, sadly not. Ground is online though. 12193. So we'll just set that up on the standby so we're not fiddling around once we've landed. So yeah, sadly what we'd normally do is we'd tidy up the flight plan, we'd clear it all out just to help with the sequencing. Can't do that so much in this aircraft. Well, I suppose I can, but I can't extend the runway centerline the usual way, hence why I'm using the fixes page for it. Hey Dan Nix, passed the S1 exam at Manchester today. I look forward to controlling sometime soon. Dan, that is awesome. Dan, Manchester need to close taxiway Bravo on VATSIM, just like they have done in real life. It's chaos. It's organised chaos. But yeah, this morning when LVPs were in place, visibility was like 100 metres or something stupid. And they're having to send aircraft down bunch at a time to and then backtrack on the runway. It just looked like good fun. I really want Manchester at VATSIM to simulate that closure. Then see how many pilots have read the NOTAMs. Hazard, what does a solid magenta dot on the route mean? That means a speed change. That's where the aircraft will probably look to slow down to green dot. Might be the approach phase. It would normally say decel, wouldn't it? Doesn't say it on there for some reason. Leon, I think we're both right, mate. It's closed between. I think it's closed between Bravo and Alpha. I can't remember the exact bit. I know exactly which bit is closed, but hang on, I'll show you. It might be Alpha that's closed, actually, now you've said it. Yeah, it is. So it's between, I think it's there between Bravo, I can't remember if it's between Bravo 2 or Bravo 3. That part of Bravo and Alpha that's closed. Actually, not all of Alpha can be closed. Alpha Echo is open, and Alpha 2, Alpha 1, all of that is open because that's where the backtracking at the end, just there. Hey, Otto. Good to see you. And celebrating 17 months of channel membership. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Right, thrust idle, open descent. And we've pulled speed as well now, 250 knots. Let's get our lights on. Right, I've got Indy Bravo Oscar November identified. That's not what I want. I want Indy Bravo Tango Sierra identified. So at the moment we're just picking up the ILS from the wrong side. That should right itself in a few moments.
Bristol traffic, EC2112 is taking off runway 27.
Okay, so we've got departure on 27, that's fine. Right, so the plan now will be 3,000 feet. So let's push for local pressure 997, open descent 3,000 blue. Let's pull heading and start to vector ourselves around, shall we? And Flyby John also celebrating 5 months of captain level channel membership. Flyby John, thank you so much, mate. Good to see you on board tonight.
Bristol traffic, Easyjet 2743, coming for runway 27 by VV1 Bravo arrival with the 3-1 condition.
And Bristol traffic, Easy 599 for X-ray is 10 miles north of the field, making right on traffic for a 9-mile final ILS runway 27. Why have we got an echo there? I know why we've got an echo there. I was receiving my own comms.
Okay, that should be no problem. We are.
Okay, I'm just going to pull VS. So VS 1000, let's just tidy this flight plan up a bit because it's a mess. That's better. Right, start slowing down, push for managed speed. Thrust idle and open descent. Help that to drop. Activate the approach phase. That's done. Ah, there we go. Indy Bravo Tango Sierra is now identified. Otto, mate, thank you so much. Gifting 5 Easyjet in Pilot Channel memberships. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Otto, for your support tonight. Very generous of you. Rail Cow Girl, can you hear yourself back? No, you can't. Well, you could do if you were receiving on VHF2 at the same frequency that you're transmitting on, but only a pudding would do that, and that was me tonight. So no, that's not normal. R&D use static aircraft? No, not on VATSIM. Leon, at what point do you activate the approach phase? When you decide you want to start slowing down, Leon. Every approach is a little bit different. So that's slowing down quite nicely. We can see glide slopes coming up to meters as well. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. And the all-important flare law will be coming out soon. Right, so let's start turning back towards the airport. Flaps 1, speed's checked, flaps 1. Pull speed, 190. In fact, we can now probably go direct that centre fix.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside.
Which way are you turning, Airbus?
Stowed, armrests down, and window blind open.
Thank you.
You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Was FastBy showing grounders online? Yeah, indeed. We've got them in the standby radio. Just waiting for them. Okay, and we'll pull heading there. Okay, so alt glide slope, lock blue, cat through jewels, part 1, 2.
$2,500.
Radio altimeter alive. There's Bristol. And Bristol traffic easy, 59 Alpha X-ray is establishing ILS runway 27 at 11 miles, speed 190.
$2,500.
Oh, it must be bumpy down there. Right, how do we think she's going to land? Let's find out together, shall we? So that localizer is captured. Just remember the approach checklist actually. Have we got the seatbelt signs on? No, we haven't. So bar FQ and HT is 997 hectopascal. The seatbelt signs are on. Minimum 601. Auto brake is medium. EFB is stowed. Quite late doing that checklist, to be fair. Flaps 2, speeds checked. Flaps 2. Speed 180. If you do have to leave us after we've landed, then please do hit the like button as you depart. It really helps the channel out. Thank you everyone that's done that already. Okay, glide slopes captured. Mr. Approach altitude 3,000 feet is set. And announce a sort of just a reminder: the go around is straight out, runway heading, climbing 3,000. Okay, 6 miles. Gear down. Manage speed. Flaps 3, speeds checked, flaps 3. Lights. Landing checklist. Cabin crew, seats for landing. Go around altitude 3,000 feet set. Eco memo landing, no blue. Okay, so look at the prime flight display. We are pitched quite high up. We're, you know, we're about almost 4 degrees, 3.5 degrees pitched up at the minute. So we're not going to need much flare. We've got an 18 knot headwind as well. So really, shouldn't need to do too much.
1,000.
Okay. I'm happy with that. Autopilot R5 control. Thank you guys, those just subscribing.
$1,000. 1,000.
1,000 feet. That wind may just come round to the left a little bit. Just drifted through that centre line a bit. Let's just get that back on.
400, 100 above.
3 red, just watch that picture. Keep that picture where it is.
Minimum.
Continue.
$50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
Okay, so spoilers deployed, reverse green, decel, idle, and roll to the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking
Right,
area.
let's see where we're going to park.
On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Sort my aircraft out first.
Easy 59 Alpha X-ray Bristol ground.
Bristol ground, easy 59 Alpha X-ray with you on Golf.
Easy 59 Alpha X-ray, good afternoon, welcome to Bristol. Taxi stand 2 via Golf and Juliet.
Taxi stand 2 via Golf and Juliet, easy 59 Alpha X-ray.
And ground, very good evening, Easy 649 Hotel, stand 23 with information Charlie, A320 requesting clearance to Aldergrove.
See what the landing was like then in a few minutes. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps giving us a 0 FPM. That's not even possible.
Are you able to accept flight level 240?
Leon, thoughts on the new flare law?
Easy 649.
Seemed exactly as it should be. Don't do anything different. Don't do anything different at all.
Easy 649 Hotel cleared for Belfast, Aldergrove on the Brecon 1 X-ray departure. Squawk 4223, the Bristol QNH 997 hectopascal.
What would be interesting is if after we'd touched down and the spoilers were deployed, if I'd have yanked back on the side stick, it then shouldn't allow me to do that.
Easy 649 Hotel, read back quick.
To make sure that we don't tail strike the aircraft. Flix, welcome to the First Officers Club. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your support as well. Hope you've enjoyed our flight this evening. Flying 101, a problem with the FlyByWire aircraft. As soon as you land the parking grate engages. Oh, that definitely shouldn't happen. That almost sounds like there's a binding somewhere. I don't know what that could be, I'm afraid. I can't even think what would possibly cause that. This is a beautifully modelled airport, by the way. If you haven't got this airport, definitely worth getting. Austin, the announcement sound pack from Self-Loading Cargo is one that I've sort of put together myself for the channel. It does take a long time to do though now. Now Self-Loading Cargo is quite in depth. BM Lock, good evening mate, thank you for being here. See you again next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Once that happens, we will start deboarding and you'll be able to leave the aircraft. Thank you. Cabin crew, doors to manual, please.
Wonderful. Okay, why are you still flashing at me? Yeah, there we go. That's the movement I expected. Alright, parking brake is set. Alright, I'm not going to turn the engines off because the replay that we'll check out in a moment doesn't like it. Alright, so what's that company message that we've got come through just there? That's a bit weird. Let's check that out. Oh, no messages. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, we get off the VATSIM network. There we go. Thank you if you did fly alongside us today. And we'll check out the replay, see what it looks like from the passenger window, which is always good fun to do. Anyway, welcome to Bristol. Thought the aircraft handled quite nicely.
$2,500.
Cabin view, cabin windows obviously darkened for our nighttime landing. Bus driver, do I find the FlyByWire difficult to taxi in a straight line? Yours wanders all over the place. I don't know. That's a strange to try and answer that now. I'd have to go back and consciously think about it. I'm always putting some sort of little correction in. I think it was okay today. When we were on the straight line into Newcastle. I'd have to go back and watch. If you can see me wavering around left and right, then clearly I'm having to put in quite a few inputs. I'm now trying to remember if I put a beer in the fridge for after I landed. I really hope I did. I'm going to need it this week. School holidays. So my streams this week, they're really going to be sporadic. Just because the school holidays always upset things, sadly. I will be around as much as I can, as per usual. Back here, I think... I don't... No, this is Pilot Plus. Pilot Plus is Bristol, I think. That seemed to touch down all right, didn't it? Nothing... Nothing too different between that and any other previous fly-by-wire landing. Seemed to work pretty well. Plastic 3D, thank you so much for subscribing to us. Good to have you on board our flight tonight. Let's check out the other side. Organ Aviator slowly getting to grips with Boeing. Why? You need to become one of their engineers. the quality control department. Leon, I doubt that. Andy says, always learn something when you fly. Andy, you're more than welcome. Thanks for being here. Commander 9T, I use the Thrustmaster TPR pedals, which are fantastic. Expensive, yes, but really good. Yeah, the Pilot Plus Bristol Airport looks really nice as well. It's good stuff. Definitely worth a shout if you haven't already seen it. I mean, it has been out for quite a while now. Right, guys. Well, there you are. Hope you've had an amazing week. If you are on holiday next week from school, college, etc., then enjoy yourself. Don't annoy your parents too much, please. And until next time, our next stream will be, as always, announced on Discord. Please hit the like button as you depart our aircraft. Hope you have safe onward travels. Hope you've enjoyed tonight, guys. Thanks so much for being with us. Obviously, only shortish flight this one, but one we could squeeze in tonight, and I think it's just another one that meant we could enjoy, get lots of things done, and of course test out the new flare law, which shouldn't, as I say, have you doing anything different, which I didn't do, and it seemed to work pretty much as exactly as per usual. So thanks everyone. I'll look forward to seeing you all on our next stream. Until then, I'll leave you with the final replay. Good night, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.
2,500. Retard. 10, 5,